What up? What up? What up, Sparks? Sparks, it was like I was just talking to you. All right. So, I got the audio potentially fixed for Genshin, which is insane. Also, that's really low. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. And we're playing Genshin today, but also we're testing audio for Genshin 2. Mainly because I redid all my audio, like I said yesterday or this morning. I also passed out because I was tired. But there was a lot of testing, and I forgot to test Elgato stuff. So hopefully everything sounds great. And we're gonna test that out by fighting the Raiden Shogun. Microphone volume should still be sounding good. Everything else should be. It was a little weird trying to get the audio working for Elgato because of other reasons. But yeah, Sparks, if you don't mind letting me know how everything sounds as we fight the Raiden Shogun, and if you can hear me past everything, that'd be perfect. The Raiden Shogun is trying to fight me, and you can't beat me, Raiden Shogun, because I've faced you numerous times. But yeah, let me know immediately if it's too loud or anything. Are you about to split into 4? You are. Aha. Hello, real one.
Hold the line.
Nope, don't. Nope, that's bad. Nope, stop. You need to die fast. And I can defeat you fast. Alright, so now we switch to the Ganges. Game's louder than your mic a tiny bit. Okay. So let's go down to there. Can we try this again? And this time Ganges. Why is her name Ganges, you may ask? Well, it's because it's Gacha. Oh god. Alright, we do this now. We do this. Aha! I'm kicking your butts, Miss Raiden Shogun.
Witness the final calamity.
How's it sound right now? We still good? Better? Worse? What are we thinking? Perish. She does the attack that our boy Dedede did in the past, if I'm being honest. It's better? Sweet. Sparks, I trust you.
Eternity is in my hands.
And I can change the volume in the game too. That is an option. Oh shit, I gotta jump. But it could be a little better. Does it need to be quieter or louder? What's the verdict there?
I'm just way out of.
Wow, that hurt.
Purge all obstacles.
Oh god, you don't die!
All hail.
Get back!
I'm guessing that it should be a little bit more quieter, right?
Inferior.
Quieter. Alright. So we're now down to minus 11.6.
Absurd. Strike dead.
Raiden Shogun's attacking me and trying to kill me. It's not fun. Miss Raiden Shogun,
Weak.
please. Can I actually beat her before?
The eye sweeps the lands.
There. I was like, that's what I need to do.
Falls on the land of eternity.
Oh, we're not gonna be able to beat her in time. No!
This body is eternal.
Damn it!
Next on the agenda.
Oh, stop hurting me! God, this is crazy. So Sparks, how we sound now? Good? Oh God. Ruin follows my blade. That's great. Please. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Hello, I missed.
The final calamity.
The final calamity. Slicey slice. You zoned out for a second? You're good.
Purge all obstacles.
You sound good? Sweet. I may need to fix... So I'm gonna keep it probably like this. I'm guessing that the audio for Elgato is just way louder than it should be. So if that's the case, then I will just kind of keep it like this, but I will just mess with the game volume in the game.
Did I miscount?
Raiden Shogun, you are doing way more damage than you should, miss. Joink! Boom. You did. You did, kid. You did. So what I'm gonna do then, actually, is we do audio. Decrease the music, increase the sound effects, raise this to like there. You know, I wonder. No, that's fine. Okay. Oh my gosh, it's actually maxed out on my thing. That is insane. I never have my headphones maxed out. This feels weird. Alright, well, we're gonna go to part 2. We'll take down Zarita. And, this should be hopefully worthwhile. Sparks, can I steal stuff from your place?
You're trembling. Is it the cold or just cowardice?
Is it the cold or is it just cowardice? Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? I wonder if that's... Surprise Queen reference. You know, fun fact, I actually have never... I did not actually end up hearing the, what's it called? Ooh, we're getting an from Sparks. Oh, your brother sells a computer? Gotcha. I was like, wait, why is Sparks saying I'm confused. No, I understand. No, so... Bohemian Rhapsody, that's what it's called. I actually first heard that song in college, fun fact, where I actually, yeah, in college, everyone was singing like Bohemian Rhapsody, and I just had no idea what they were singing on one of the buses to the main campus. And some people noticed that I wasn't like joining in because everyone on the bus is like super tight and just, you know, everyone like clicked with each other. And I was a little like, I was the odd person out, but you know, I still kind of vibed with some people. Like I like to keep to myself quite a lot. And like one guy in particular who sat next to me on the bus was like, hey, like, why don't you just join in? Like, we know that you're kind of introverted and everything, but just have fun with it. And I'm like, well, I don't know what song you guys are singing. And I said that quietly since everyone knew what the song was. And like, it looked like I just told the dude that his dog died. Like, he was in shock. So here, excuse me. So here I am, just like listening to them sing, and I'm like, I don't know what this song is.
Not every wound will heal.
And I was like, it sounds cool. I just, you know, I've never heard it, and you know, I listen to more like punk rock and just general rock and roll music. So I've never, and to me, it didn't sound like that, which I think it is classified as rock. I'm not sure. I don't know what Queen's classified as. So somebody pulled that guy, and then another person who overheard pulled it up on their phone so that way they can have me listen to the song, and they were like blown away that I've never heard it before. But I mean, it makes sense for me. Like from what I understand, it's a rather old song, and I just at the time, the only songs I listened to were any songs from pretty much the 2010s. Because I personally am a huge fan of the 2010s era of music. And that was what my Spotify playlist was full of, and that was what my iTunes was full of. Like, that was everything. That was everything I listened to. And like, I had a full like emo sort of playlist from YouTube way back when. And this was kind of before Nightcore and all that sort of jazz. And just people were just baffled, and I was like, I'm sorry. I understand you're confused, but here's the thing, you know, I have stuff. Like, I just, it wasn't my vibe back then. I know the song now, so don't worry about that. But I mean, I don't listen to it. Like, I know some people who just religiously listen to Queen. Oh, it wants me to go to the Komori tea house. That's what this quest is. But for me, yeah. Hey, it's the artist girl. It's gonna glitch the quest a little bit. We're gonna make the paper cranes. Oh, that's also something I need to do. Fuck, I need to render something. Ah! You think I'd remember to like start rendering things like faster. Also, we were supposed to be playing LEGO Star Wars Skywalker Saga today, but Doge didn't want to, and that's fine. Like, he doesn't have to. I just really wanted to play more of it. So, alright, we're good. Ah, Sparks is lurking. Enjoy your lurk. Alright, so we are going to be starting the Klee event today. So I think let's just kind of jump into that. There's 14 days left. We've already finished this event. There's still this that we have to do, but we'll hold off on that. So let's do it. What the heck? Unlocks in 8 hours, unlocks in 2 days. Alright, so we'll do the first like 4 things, I guess, of this. And we'll go from there. Who's ready for Klee? Because I think this entire event revolves around Klee. What up, Catherine?
Hi, Catherine. We heard that you have a new commission for us.
What up?
That's correct. There's a requester who has submitted a designated commission for the two of you.
It's for us
Designated
too.
Commission? Sounds like it must be pretty important. What kind of task is it exactly?
There's no need to worry. This commission is not dangerous by any means. Perhaps you have heard that Inazuma will soon be holding a major festival. The magnificent Irodori Festival.
The Irodori Festival. Sounds fantastic.
Oh, come to think of it, we haven't attended a festival in Inazuma for a while.
That's also very true.
The Yashiro Commission and Lady Yae are responsible for all the festival preparations. The one who has requested your help is none other than Lady Yae herself.
Ah, good old Miss Miko.
You know Miko. She always has some unusual ideas in her head. You can bet a festival planned by her is gonna be one to remember.
Hell yeah!
We better go to
All of the
Granite
fun
Akami Shrine and
times.
see what she needs us to do.
Lady Yae is currently at Yae Publishing House in Hanamizaka, so there is no need to go all the way to the shrine. In fact, she has instructed me to have you directly meet with her there.
Oh, Well, that's convenient enough. Let's go then.
Hooray! Let's go talk to Lady Ai. The strange tale of Suko's tipsy tincture. Well, that's interesting. Yai Miko, where are you? You've been on my Twitter timeline for so long. Because people are horny on Maine. But I Miko.
Aratani and Kuroda, how are things coming along?
All the books and commission prints for Yai Publishing House were bound and sent out yesterday afternoon, Lady Yai.
Damn.
Very good. And Murata?
We have already received word from Apekusu and Sailing Breeze that the materials are all in place for Shogun Almighty reborn as Raiden with unlimited power and Pretty Please Kitsune Guji.
Pretty please, Kitsune Guji. Oh god.
Well done. And what about you, Onodera?
He looks...
Ahem. Onodera?
Damn.
Yes, Lady Ai. Everything is ready for the new issue release party.
You are the one who organized the plans for this release party. In other words, you are the team's fearless leader now. So please, show some confidence.
Damn.
Besides, there's no need to be nervous. This project is destined for success. I feel quite optimistic about it. I shall specially grant you leave for the next couple of days, Onodera. Please take the opportunity to have a good rest. After all, you will be very busy on the day of the release party.
Yes,
Apparently
Lady Ai.
wizard.
Thank you very much.
All right then. Is everyone clear about their
Something
assignments?
tells me Onodera
Good.
has some
We're running out of
ulterior
time, so
motives.
let's get moving. Chop chop.
Everyone separate. Everyone split up. The Traveler and Paimon are here.
Ah, hello, little ones. I take it you have received my commission,
Yep.
Organizer you are! It's nearly time for the festival and you're still over here ramping things up for your light novel business! Shouldn't you be getting back to the Grand Narukami Shrine? You weren't thinking of dumping all the festival preparations on us, were you? If so, then you can forget it! Paimon won't accept such a commission!
Why are we being so sassy? Forget it.
My, such harsh words. It hurts to hear that kind of talk from you two. But as you can clearly see, I'm here working like a dog for the festival. Yet you say I'm not doing my job.
Damn, we're
Let me
mean.
ask you, little ones. Whoever said that the festival must involve the Grand Narukami Shrine?
Huh? But isn't that a given? This is Inazuma after all.
I mean, that's fair.
Yes,
that's
that
fair.
is true. But now that the Sokoku decree has been lifted, Inazuma is no longer the same nation that once resisted change tooth and nail.
Also, okay, that's true. That's actually very true.
Therefore,
yeah.
rather than sticking to the same old traditional festival, the Yashiro Commission and I have decided to shake things up a little. This time, we'll be holding an international cultural
That explains why Mondstadt and
distinctly
Liwa are involved
Inazuma,
here.
But with a unique twist.
So, International Cultural Festival.
I suppose I should start by telling you the origins of the Irodori Festival. Legend has it that there were 5 poets in ancient Inazuma who were supremely gifted in singing and writing poetry. They are known as the 5 Kasen.
Okay, 5
Every year,
Kazan.
one of the 5 would present a collection of the group's poems to the shogun for review, which would then spark culture discussions regarding those works. Thanks to them, Inazuma's culture blossomed and gained great influence at that time. As
Nice.
time passed, people began creating various tales based on the 5 Kasen. The Irodori Festival was also developed as a result to show appreciation for their works, which so greatly enriched our lives.
Gosh, there's so much talk about writing in this game lately that it makes me want to write again and write more, and I already have my ideas like put out and everything, but like busy. I've been super busy. I'm sorry.
Sounds like a festival that's really rooted in culture.
True, so why are we
Indeed.
changing it up?
To describe it in the words of the ancients, it'd be refined elegance. Unfortunately, with the flow of time, people have gradually forgotten about the 5 Kasen and the festival.
See, that's a big thing, right? As time goes on, people forget about legends and history and just so on and so forth. And it's so weird to me that, like, I mean, it's cool that like Genshin and a few other games lately have been like talking about like, don't forget the past, don't forget the past, don't forget the past. But it's also just weird because I feel like even though a lot of people should not forget the past, because otherwise history is doomed to repeat if you don't learn from previous mistakes. I feel like some people just also try to ignore certain aspects of history.
Which is precisely why I've decided to revive the Irodori Festival by holding a cultural convention featuring light novels.
That's fair.
Wait a minute! Light novels?
So what about that refined
Please
elegance?
stop looking at me with those baffled expressions. In ancient times, poetry was all the rage, but nowadays, the entertainment format of choice is light novels.
Which is true in a lot of aspects.
The important thing
that's
is
fair.
not the format, but the creative work itself. It is impossible to come up with anything fresh if you're stuck using some rigid format of the past.
But poetry is nice in the past,
Speaking
too,
of
and
which,
current.
Don't you think that the concept of focusing on the now perfectly suits the current Inazuma? And besides, it's a great opportunity to reintroduce Inazuma to Altivat through light novels. As they say, it's two birds with one stone.
That does sound like a whole lot of thinly veiled
Oh,
self-justifications.
that was close. Paimon was nearly carried away by Miko's persuasive tongue. Come on, Miko! You can't fool us. We know you by now. This is all definitely stemming from your own personal interests.
Which is true, right?
I can't deny that my hobbies had no part to play in this. However, regardless of whether it's light novels or a festival, catching people's attention with a fresh concept is the essence here.
Which is
Well,
true.
What do you say? Aren't you two even a little curious about what interesting things you might see at the festival?
Maybe a little. Oh, all right. Paimon's super curious now.
Of course, Paimon caves. Damn it, Paimon.
Come, let's pay a visit to the venue in Rito together. I promise that it will give you a whole new perspective on the festival. There we'll meet a special someone who will tell you more about your tasks.
Is it Ayato? Ayato's featured a lot. Alright, well. Oh shit. Oh, you're gone. I was like, where'd she go? It's either Ayato or based on stuff I've seen on Twitter, it might be somebody else. Is it Ayato?
During the Irodori Festival, the area around the Outlander Affairs Agency will become the main exhibition space for light novels.
Okay.
Once things are in full swing,
So it's a
not only will
full
there be
island
lots
sort of
official
situation.
and fan-created work on display, there'll also be exclusive giveaways, prizes, and new release parties. This small
Cool.
plaza in front of the International Trade Association will be called the Five Kasen Plaza during the festival, and nearby shops will be selling special light novel merchandise. You certainly won't want to miss out.
Gosh, okay.
How should Paimon put this? It's definitely not your typical festival, but it sure looks like it'll be quite the party.
Yep, it's a light novel paradise, that's for sure.
Miko, what are these blank boards in the center of the plaza?
That's actually a good question. What are these
Yes.
blank boards?
Those are...
Ah, Lady I
Yay,
did
it's
mention that there would
Ayato!
be some reliable helpers coming to assist with the festivities. It appears she meant you two.
Hello!
At last we meet again, Traveler and Paimon. Tell me, how are you faring recently?
Oh, it's been great.
Oh, it's Ayato! Wow, so even a busy guy like yourself is here to attend the Irodori Festival.
Oh, okay. So I've noticed something recently. So there's been times when I will press like X to move on or something, and it seems like the game takes like a... Sorry, I was opening this. It seems like the game takes like a little bit extra time to like process when I hit the button. And I've always wondered, I was like, man, why is that the case? Like, why have it last a little bit longer? Those pauses are to check your profile to see what you've done in the game. And as such, it will change what's going on. So like right now, if we haven't done Ayato's story quest, the game would check for it and would like have us be introduced to him for the first time.
Preparing
Interesting.
festivals falls under the Yashiro Commission's scope of responsibilities. Seeing as Lady Ai has poured her heart and soul into the preparations, I'm obliged to be equally dedicated.
That's an interesting titch.
Come now, Ayato. We're not strangers here. There's no need to sound so formal.
But he is incredibly formal.
We were just
This
about
is
to
why we
discuss
like him.
the boards over here. They're related to our little helper's tasks, so I'll let you give them a detailed rundown.
Certainly. I assume you two already know that the Irodori Festival originated from the 5 Kasen. These 5 boards are here for painting their portraits.
Okay.
This Irodori Festival is not only the first major festival to be held in Inazuma since the lifting of the Sakoku decree, it is also an event deeply rooted in culture and the arts.
Which is a big thing for Japan,
Therefore,
from what I remember.
The Yashiro
Understand
Commission has
and
personally
remember.
invited several cultural celebrities from other nations.
So, gotta be Singshaw, Albedo plus
For
Klee.
example, the artist we have invited to paint these portraits hails from the distant land of Mondstadt.
Gotta be
The
Albedo.
Yashiro
Who's the
Commission will arrange
artist?
accommodations and food in Inazuma for each of the distinguished guests. However, we fear that staying in a foreign land may feel a little uncomfortable, which is precisely why it would be ideal to have someone familiar with both Inazuma and other nations of Teyvat to serve as a guide for our guests.
So this is our commission, is to just hang out with the people from the other
Maybe you
lands.
Catch on. It is our hope that you would be able to guide the guests from the harbor to their residence at the International Trade Association, while providing any necessary assistance along the way. This
Sounds
arrival
good.
schedule includes the details of the ships on which the guests will be arriving. All you simply have to do is go to the docks at the indicated times.
2 days before the festival, ship and guests, large passenger ship, bards from Mondstadt, so probably Venti, a guest painter, Calx, and his dependent, which Calx is Albedo. It's not hard to figure out why Calx is Albedo. His dependent is Klee. Second day of the festival, ship and guests, large passenger ship, calligraphers, painters from Liwa, theater mechanicus players, and a guest writer, Zhenyu. So Zinksho, I don't know how to say his name. Painters from Liwa? Do we know a painter from Liwa? Not sure. Stop over 1 person on the 3rd day of the festival. The day following the release event, small passenger ship, 2 persons. Weird.
It's settled then.
Okay.
My, look at the
The
time.
Albedo and Klee are
I
like the
have to meet
two
with my editors,
like
so I
ones
must
I
be
know.
going now. During the festival, most of the Yai Publishing House's editors will be staying near the Outlander Affairs Agency. If you run into any problems, you may find them there.
What is going on with my mic? It's like acting like there's some background noise or something. What in the hell is going on right there? I don't know, like sometimes there's weird stuff that's happening with my mic, but I just want to hear it for myself and see what's going on. Microphone, are you okay? Like, what is going on with this mic? I don't know what's going on with my mic right now. Like it, hold on, I'm gonna have to reset this. Testing, I guess. I'm so confused. Like, it sounds like there's something hitting the mic, but there's not. Hold on. I'm gonna fix this real quick. There we go. I think that's better. I don't know what was just hitting that, though. That's so weird. Like, it sounds like something's hitting the mic over and over. And I can hear it again. Like, I can do playback for myself. That's so strange. Sorry, I had to take some time to figure that out, because that should not be like that. I apologize.
This festival requires the full cooperation of the Tri-Commission, and there are still many minor details which require my attention, so I must excuse myself for now. I'll leave the guests in your hands.
All the details we need about the ships are on the timetable that Ayato gave us. Let's take a closer look and be sure to pick up the passengers according to the times written on it.
That sounds good. We'll do that. Yeah, once again, these next few streams after the morning stream that I did the other day, or today rather, is also going to be a lot of testing audio and just like testing new setups and such. I really cannot say what was going on with my mic right there.
According to the arrival schedule, there will be a ship arriving from Mondstadt today. The artists for the 5 Chasm portraits should be on board.
And a bunch of
The
bards.
boat should be arriving soon, so let's head down to the docks.
And a bunch of bards. Here's a boat. It's gotta be Albedo and Klee. It's a boat. Look at the boat. Oh.
Hello! You must be here to take part in the Irodori Festival. We're the festival guides, and we'll show you around.
Yes,
No,
that's
Venti.
right. We are bards from Mondstadt. Word has it that Inazuma has undergone many changes of late. We hope to find fresh inspiration here.
Paimon, what's going on?
These guests are all bards, aren't they? Well, where's Tonedef Bard then? Huh. Strange. He's pretty famous in Mondstadt. Do you think he didn't receive an invitation?
Yeah, I don't think he gets along too well with I, right?
Huh? Why's that?
Yeah, Venti's
Oh, Paimon sees what you're getting at. Even though Venti no longer rules over Mondstadt, he's still an Archon. If he came rushing to Inazuma at the first mention of a festival, not
There's
only
a
would it seem a
Klee!
little childish, it would also sort of be shameless of him.
Is a Klee!
Miss Honorary Knight, Paimon!
It's Klee!
It's Klee! Were you also invited to the Irodori Festival?
No, Albedo's the one who received
It's
the
the
invitation.
Albedo.
But because everyone in the Knights of Favonius has been really busy these days, Albedo arranged for someone here to issue me a dependent pass.
Yay, it's a Klee and
Greetings,
Albedo.
traveler in Paimon. After hearing that Inazuma was making preparations for the Irodori Festival, I predicted that I might run into you here.
Ha! Paimon knew it! Albedo's the one they've invited to paint the 5 Kasen!
It seems that you already know why I'm here. Just so you're aware, I'll be using my pen name in Inazuma, Calx.
Sounds about right.
Oh, by the way, do you know where the International Trade Association is? I'll be meeting with the editorial director of the Yai Publishing House there.
Yep, we'll meet you. We'll introduce you to Yaimiko.
Yeah, the International Trade Association is where you'll be staying in Inazuma. We'll be heading there too.
Great. Let's get going then.
Aww, Klee's here too. Everybody's so happy that Klee's in Inazuma. Everybody's so excited that Klee's gonna blow up the world. I'm waiting for that one story quest where it's just Klee accidentally blows up an entire city, and you have to spend. And now it's a city builder game where you just have to rebuild the city. That'd be hilarious.
Wow, it's so beautiful here! So many things I've never seen before.
Slow down, Klee. please be careful not to bump into others? Telling Klee so many stories about Inazuma during the trip was probably not the best idea.
Probably not, but it's fine.
As a result, she could hardly sleep all the way here. It appears she's even more excited now that we've arrived.
Does she live in that city? I mean, that's true. But like rebuilding the city for them? That'd be fun. What up, Jigsaw? Nothing wrong with a little excitement.
Strange. It seems that the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama, isn't here yet. I'm certain he said that he'd be sure to arrive before me. This might be a problem.
What's wrong?
Well, Mr. Hiroyama was supposed to meet with me and
Been
give
bored
me
and
some
lazy
reference
today.
materials
Fair.
about the 5 Kasen today. That way, I could better visualize the content for my paintings.
Which, that makes sense.
You
Okay.
mean you had no idea what you'd be painting before you arrived in Inazuma?
Klee's just running around.
I only know of the 5 Kasen by name. Because of the sheer age of the tale, very little has been passed down to this day. So Mr. Hiroyama decided to help me collect some more information.
Gotcha.
I'm the type of painter who can complete a painting quickly as long as I'm inspired. So I agreed on only receiving the details today.
That's
so
fair.
when do the
Okay.
paintings have to be done by?
According to the festival
tomorrow?
plans, the portraits will be revealed one at a time throughout the various stages of the Irodori Festival. The first one, depicting Suiko, will need to be done before the festival's official opening ceremony, which is the day after tomorrow.
Gotcha. That makes
After
sense.
tomorrow? Then you're already running out of time!
There's no need to panic. When I was working on light novel illustrations, because the manuscripts are shipped by boat, things were always tight and finished at the last minute.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very
Just
fair.
last month,
Very, very
to
fair.
ensure the latest book of A Legend of Sword would be finished for the Irodori Festival, I had to complete the final chapter's illustrations the same day I received the manuscript.
Damn.
I heard that my illustrations were sent to print as soon as they arrived in Inazuma. I still don't know how well they turned out.
So yeah, you're okay. I understand that.
Paimon isn't sure if she should feel sympathetic for your working conditions or compliment you on your artistic genius.
Probably both. Also, Jigsaw, do you hear any like popping noises, by the way? If I'm quiet? Just curious.
Of course, I would still prefer to receive any possible reference materials in advance, so that I can be better prepared.
Yeah, Mako did mention.
Right! The editors of the Yai Publishing House will all be around the Outlander Affairs Agency these next few days. Who knows? Maybe Mr. Hirayama's over there too. We'll take you over there to see if we can find him, Albedo.
Don't think so? Sweet. So I picked it.
Alright, it's worth a try. Klee, you haven't slept for a while now. Please stay at our residence in the International Trade Association and get some rest. We will be back soon.
Okie dokie. Don't worry, Albedo. I'll be on my best behavior.
Klee, please don't blow up Inazuma. Outlander Affairs. Wait, is it Toma? Do we get to talk to Toma? Toma? No.
This can't be happening. The moment we need to contact Onodera is when he's on special leave. Kuroda and I will go back to Inazuma City for an emergency printing run.
Onodera.
The demand for this book is so high, though. Even with the emergency prints, it still might not be enough.
Onodera's
Despite
fucking things up.
We're still lucky that we found out today. If this had happened a few days later, then we'd really be in boiling water.
Oh my gosh, you can see Miko with a paintbrush in the background.
Hey,
And there's
do you think that suspicious guy they found
Hey.
in the warehouse has anything to do with this?
the suspicious
Well,
guy.
The editorial director is on his way over there to investigate the situation as we speak.
A suspicious guy?
Sorry to interrupt, but what's going on here?
Oh, hey, traveler. Don't worry. It's nothing, just an internal issue. That's all. How can I help you?
I'm looking for the editorial director, Mr. Hiroyama. Does anyone know where he is now?
Mr. Hirayama is currently at the warehouse down by the harbor.
Okay.
Oh, hold on a second, Murata. Excuse me, but you must be Calx, the one who was invited to paint the 5 Kasen for the festival?
That's correct.
Yes, that's me.
My name is Kuroda. You must be inquiring about information regarding the 5 Kasen.
That's correct.
I do apologize, but please make yourself comfortable at the International Trade Association, and I will let Mr. Hirayama know to send you the materials right away.
Oh, no need. You guys look super busy, so we can go find him ourselves.
About that.
Yeah, what's going on?
Excuse me, but is there something wrong with the latest volume of A Legend of Sword?
Huh? How did you know?
Since you were all aware that Mr. Hiroyama needed to send me some supporting materials, that means the editorial director didn't forget about it. Instead, something urgent must have cropped up.
Yep, and Albedo is perceptive.
To add to that,
Complete.
despite being aware that I am Calx, you were still unwilling to let me go to Mr. Hiroyama directly. After considering these factors, the only reason you would try to stall me is if something happened to A Legend of Sword, which I did the illustrations for.
Wow, that's good logic.
I'm very sorry. The situation is just as you said, Calx. I suppose it doesn't hurt to tell you now.
Makes
Earlier
sense,
today,
makes sense.
someone spotted a suspicious outlander sneaking around inside the Irodori Festival warehouse down by the docks. So they promptly alerted the Tenryou Commission. The Tenryou Commission was concerned about potential cargo theft, so they contacted everyone who was renting space in the warehouse. It was then that we realized that the latest copies of A Legend of Sword had suddenly gone missing.
Interesting.
What? The books are missing?
That's not good.
Not so loud. Not only is this book an eagerly anticipated release in the last phase of the Irodori Festival, but the author, Jinyu, will be personally attending the release party as well.
Because of the dire situation, Mr. Hiroyama immediately hurried to the warehouse to determine whether the theft was related to that suspicious outlander.
Which is
I
yes.
see. It would be a great misfortune if A Legend of Sword would not be released on schedule. And quite a disappointment for Jinyu as well.
That's
if
fair.
Mr. Hiroyama has gone to the warehouse at the docks, then I'll go down to see if I can be of any help.
Same here.
The author of A Legend of Sword is Jinyu. Sounds familiar. Hey, isn't that Xingqiu's pen name?
That's correct.
Do you know him?
We met him on a couple occasions. He's also part of our team.
Xingqiu would definitely be upset if he discovers his books are missing. Let's accompany Albedo to the warehouse too.
Good old show. Oh, King Cheese's favorite boy.
Festivals always attract so many people.
Alright, so it's Venti! Venti is here! And what up, Kujo-Sara?
It's you! Why are you here?
I'm here on behalf of the Tenryou Commission, of course. Is that surprising?
No, Sarah, Paimon wasn't talking about you! So, Tone Deaf Bard. The suspicious outlander in the warehouse wouldn't happen to be you, would it?
Considering the evidence, it appears that the suspicious outlander is indeed me.
Venti, what are you doing here?
As I've told you, you are a suspect. Before your allegations of theft and illegal entry as a stowaway are cleared, you are to remain silent. Don't make me say it again. Traveler, Paimon, do you know this self-proclaimed bard from Mondstadt?
Yeah, you could say we're quite familiar. Oh, this is bad.
Knowing him, it's safe to say that he wasn't behind the theft. But what's this about being a stowaway?
Although he claims to be a special guest for the Irodori Festival, he's failed to present his invitation letter. Therefore, we can only suspect that he might have entered the country illegally.
It's
Just a moment
Venti
ago,
for you.
we caught him in a dandelion wine crate near the Sailing Breeze.
Can we ask him a few questions? Like,
If
it's
it would
Venti.
help shed any light on the situation, then please, be my guest.
Yeah, we know Venti all too well.
Venti! You didn't really come here illegally, did you?
Ouch, your words wound me. We've been apart for so long, and the moment we meet again, all I'm greeted with is grilling questions and suspicious glares.
You do realize that Inazuma is a very closed-off nation, Venti, right?
You arrived in Inazuma via similar means, or so I heard. You of all people should be more understanding, don't you think?
Similar means?
We had no choice.
I merely jest. Fear not, for the person who sent me the invitation is none other than Kamisato Ayato of Yashiro Commission. It's unlikely that someone acquainted with the likes of him would ever be here illegally, right?
But why weren't you on the same ship as the other bards?
invitation letter, I couldn't help but want to come to Inazuma a little early. It was then that I happened upon a cargo ship bound for Inazuma transporting
Good old
dandelion
drunk
wine.
Venti.
So, naturally, I decided to set sail with them. Once aboard, I found the captain to be a kindred spirit, and I was treated to an abundance of fine liquor along the way. I must have fallen asleep in the cargo crate while carefully comparing the tastes of dandelion wine and Inazuman sake.
This guy is ridiculous,
And when I woke
but
up,
hilarious.
I found myself in this warehouse with a Tenryou Commission General glaring at me from atop the grate.
Coming from Venti, this story is quite believable, but it still feels a bit...
Childish.
Excuse me, I'm the owner of the stolen goods from the IA Publishing House, and there are some questions I would like to ask you. Based on what you just said, it seems you've been in the warehouse for some time now. If that's the case, did you happen to hear anything unusual?
Actually, I did hear some faint footsteps around me a couple of times, but I didn't consider the sound anything out of the ordinary.
Well, there's some other thieves in there, that's for sure.
But if you clearly heard something, why didn't you feel it was unusual?
Oh, I seem to understand now.
Huh? What did you notice, Albedo?
When it comes to burglars, they are generally associated with prying or rummaging through things. What Venti means is that he did not hear anything unusual like that.
That's correct.
As for the sound of footsteps, because this is a warehouse where many goods are coming in and out each day, it is quite normal for people to be walking around.
Also true, so there might have been grabbing the book.
But if that's the case, then we're back to square one regarding the stolen books.
No, not quite. From the facts that have been presented to us, we can draw at least 3 conclusions now.
Which is, Venti's not the thief.
Whoever took the novels is not a spur-of-the-moment burglar. They had their sights on the books from the very beginning. Second, the culprit was very familiar with the warehouse, and might even have a key. And third...
There might be one other one criminal
You
involved.
catch on, Traveler. One person couldn't possibly transport so many heavy books in such a short window of time.
Is it the treasure
It must have been
hoarders?
a team
Probably the
effort.
treasure hoarders.
It goes without saying that Venti clearly does not match up with our culprits.
Yes, I agree with your reasoning. Mr. Hirayama, the Tenryou Commission will continue by investigating
old
the
Kujo
warehouse
Sara.
staff. If you come across any further
I
clues,
love her purple
please
hair.
notify
He's just
us
a
immediately.
He's just a great
Yes,
character.
understood. I'll leave it to you then.
I suppose I'm free as a bird then.
Not so fast. Even though we've cleared the theft allegations, we still haven't ascertained whether your arrival in Inazuma was legal or not.
Oh god, Venti.
Aw, 'tis a shame. I thought surely after my honest account you might let me off the hook.
Winking
It's quite a
dickhead.
meticulous one. So, where's your invitation letter, Venti?
Yes, the invitation letter. I'm truly sorry. I can't seem to remember where I may have put it.
Good job, Venti. Good job.
How could you lose something so important?
Don't be mistaken. I was well aware of how important it was. But I didn't bring any luggage with me, and the letter was too big to fit in my pocket. So I kept it in my hand the whole trip. Strange. Though I had a little too much to drink, I know that I kept it in a secure place. I even recall being most pleased at coming up with a good idea at the time.
If you were holding the invitation in your hand the whole time, then why did you put it down?
That's a good question. Also a good question. Venti's not smart.
Well, to properly compare the taste of Mondstadt wine and Inazuman sake, I had to hold a glass in each hand.
Gosh, you
I
drunk.
couldn't both hold the invitation and a glass at the same time. But surely I wouldn't put it in just any random place. It could easily be misplaced.
Fell in the water or burn on the way? No, I'm
In
thinking.
which case, I believe there's only one place it could be. Have you figured it out, Traveler?
Probably still on the ship.
You're way ahead of Paimon. Do you two already know where the invitation letter is?
It's in his hat, probably.
Ah, yes! I remember now. I knew you'd help me find it.
Yay, you found it!
This is indeed an invitation letter issued by the Yashiro Commission.
Venti
Now
is
that
so
we've confirmed
dumb.
this guest's identity, I have no further questions. However, starting tonight, I would advise you to stay at the International Trade Association.
That would be good, because if A sees you, you're gonna get
Excuse me.
fucked.
I'll be
I
leaving
think.
now.
Mr. Animo Archon.
Here goes Sara. All right, let's go talk to Mr. Hirayama about Albedo's reference materials.
Mr. Hiroyama, I'm Calx. We had originally arranged to meet today.
Ah, yes, so you are Calx. I'm very sorry that you've arrived in Inazuma only to find such a mess. These are the materials regarding the 5 Kasen. All the information that we could find is compiled here.
Sweet, thanks Hirayama. About the 5 Kazen, long ago there were 5 legendary poets in Inazuma. Supremely gifted in music and writing, they were honored as the 5 Kazen, meaning 5 fairies of singing and poetry. It said that the shogun loved their works profoundly, and that every year one of them would go to the Tenshukaku and present their new poetry collection for the shogun's perusal. The 5 Kazen are known as Suko, Aoi no Okina, Akihito, Sumizomi, and Kuronushi, respectively, but their real names were lost to history. According to a widely accepted theory, tales of the 5 Kazen had once been repeatedly adapted and performed on stage, with the 5 characters each dressed in a distinct color: green, blue, red, white, and black. Over time, theatergoers started referring to them by these colors, hence the names we see today. Still, there exist other theories. For instance, some believe Suiko was named after his dwelling, a thatched cottage called Suiko Hut. Some also say that the Aka in Akihito was derived from the poet's habit of marking his words with a scarlet red seal. About the tales of the 5 Kazen. Everyone in Inazuma knows the tales of the 5 Kazen, and stories featuring them were once all the rage in Inazuma. What is unfortunate, however, is that despite their popularity and abundance at the time, not much detail survived till today. Most were probably lost during the Great Calamity 500 years ago. According to existing literature, during the Golden Age, where so many stories were being created, they usually followed the same set of rules. 4 poems in succession, each telling a fragment of the story from a Kazen's point of view, with the 4 together completing the whole tale. What was curious was that no single chapter seemed to be narrated from Kuronushi's perspective. 5 Kazen summary. Suko, a free, sake-loving soul born into an ordinary family. Some say he got the name Suiko from Suiko Hut, the thatched cottage he lived in. Aoi no Okina, an old man accomplished in chess. In addition to poems, he had also left behind a few novels. Some say he was actually a shogunate official who had not made a name until his senior years. Others say he was not a human, but a very old kitsune in human form. Akihito, a talented swordsman who most likely came from a martial family. Some say his name was derived from his habit of marking his works with the scarlet red seal. Sumizomi. She was once a shrine maiden skilled in floral arts and dancing. Later she became the shogun's personal attendant. Some say she resigned from her position after she became famous and devoted herself to artistic creation. Others say she kept serving the shogun into her old age. Kuronushi. Little is known about him, nor does anyone know who he really is. Maybe this explains the more varied version of his identity and personality from story to story as compared to the other 4 Kazen.
Let's see here.
Interesting.
Yes, it's just as I had suspected. Monikers such as Suiko and Aoi no Okina aren't the real names of the 5 Kazen.
True, and yeah, I can't relate to a Jigsaw, but I've heard of drunk people like forgetting where they put stuff.
Though
or
there
like
were
forgetting
once many
stuff.
stories regarding each of the 5 Kazen, the validity of their contents can no longer be verified in present times. Alas, what a shame. But at the very least, we know that most of the stories were written according to a similar style.
Gotcha, just
so there is
forgetful.
still
Which is
something we may glean from this.
I've done the same, so don't worry about that part.
Is the info useful for your paintings, Albedo?
To some extent, yes. However, I must admit that it is still lacking and fails to fulfill the most crucial element. Inspiration.
I am sorry that this information is not as exhaustive as you had hoped. However, it is not possible to gather anything more at the moment.
I get you.
Though Lady Yae did say that there are many variations of the story about the 5 Kazen, and everyone has a different story in their heart.
That's fair.
So all you need to do is follow through with what's in your own heart, and create something that you yourself find interesting.
That does sound like something Miko would say.
Yeah, because Miko does Miko
Thank
things.
You, Mr. Hirayama. No need to worry. I'll find inspiration for the portraits.
Great. I'll leave it to you then, Calx. Oh, and there's one more thing I need to ask of everyone.
Find the Legend of the Sword?
Tomorrow morning, Mr. Genyu, the author of A Legend of Sword, will be arriving in Inazuma by boat. If you see him, please do not mention the stolen novels for the time being.
Sounds good.
Whether the stolen books are eventually recovered or not, the Yae Publishing House will do its best to ensure that the novel's release is a success.
Which is fair.
You have my gratitude. I'll be going, man.
everywhere. Sorry.
Well, seems there's
Venti?
nothing more we can do here. Let's go. Huh? Venti? What are you doing over there? You don't want us to leave you behind, do you?
Traveler, Albedo, would you mind coming over here for a moment? There's something peculiar that I think you should see.
What is it? Venti, what you doing?
What is it, Venti? A piece of paper?
Indeed. When I awakened to find myself in the warehouse this morning, I discovered this paper in the cargo crate where I was sleeping. I didn't think much of it then. I thought it was merely a scrap piece of paper that had fallen into the cargo. After a quick glance, I stuffed it into a place nearby. But on second thought, I think it's worth having you take a look at what's written on it.
5,000 Splendor, Suiko. My dwelling was far from the wider world, but for my fame my peace was disturbed. In blue clad, I went before Tenshikaku to present our work, but Aoi's work was missing a page. I knelt and begged for divine wrath to be stilled, and I told what I knew of how it was lost. The previous night I'd been drunk, and then a person's shadow had passed over me. Some treacherous scoundrel must have stolen the poem, leading to my great loss of face.
Let me see. Suiko chapter. Wait a minute. Isn't Suiko the name of one of the 5 Kasen?
The story told in this poem roughly boils down to Suiko getting tipsy and letting some poems that were meant for the shogun get stolen.
Which is what you just did, pretty much.
This story sounds familiar to my ear. Where have I heard it?
Seriously? It's literally the same story you just experienced yesterday.
Yep, that is correct.
Oh, indeed it is. Interesting, isn't it?
Seems related to the stolen novels,
Yes,
maybe.
I concur. The person who left this paper could quite possibly be the criminal, or even a witness to the theft. But why leave the paper here in such a fashion? And if the one who left it here was a witness, why didn't they attempt to stop the burglary?
Alright, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Meeting together in Inazuma like this is a most rare occasion. Since we've been busy from the start of the day, let us find an inn with good drink to keep our thirst at bay.
Hey! You just sobered up and you're already thinking about more drinks?
He's a god. He's an archon. Doesn't even have a kidney or
Let's
liver
not
to
forget that Albedo
worry
still
about
has
stuff.
a portrait to complete. We don't have time to be slacking off.
Also true.
No, it's fine. Let's all go for a drink together. It'll be my treat.
Wait a minute. What about your portrait?
As I mentioned before, I'm the kind of artist who can work quickly once I'm inspired. And now, it seems I've found my source of inspiration.
From what you just read.
If I use a model as reference for the piece, we must pay him back with the appropriate recompense.
You're gonna repaint Venti.
In that case, we'll need to order more dishes.
Oh, Lord.
One year, the poet Suiko made his way to Tenshukaku and presented the Kasen's work for the shogun's perusal. But a page from the works of Aoi no Okina had been torn out, and Suiko was questioned regarding the matter. Suiko pleaded guilty. He admitted to drinking at the tavern the night before, and vaguely recalled a mysterious figure approaching while he was intoxicated.
I'm hungry.
Wow.
Interesting.
You really came through, Albedo. You were able to complete the first portrait before the opening ceremony.
Damn, that was
Yes,
insane.
It really is a sight to
I
behold.
love it. I love it.
Not only does it harken to the traditional style of Inazuma, but it also makes use of modern aesthetics. My figure is particularly striking. Even though I'm sound asleep in the portrait, I still appear as glorious as always.
Hey, don't get too full of yourself, Tone Deaf Bard. You were just a model. The person in the artwork isn't actually you.
It actually could be, though, to be fair.
Albedo, who will be your next portrait?
The next one will be Aoi no Okina of the 5 Kasen.
Albedo, might I suggest waiting a little before starting on the next one? Who knows? You might soon discover another story.
Another story?
I believe he's referring to the possibility of finding another paper with tales of the 5 Kasen. According to the reference materials I was given, we've only found the first of a total of 4 chapters.
Yeah, because Kuronushi, no one knows
You
about.
think the mysterious person who left the first paper will strike again?
It certainly is a possibility. Also, there are some points regarding the stories of the 5 Kasen that have left me rather curious. For example, the reference materials make mention of 5 legendary figures, yet all the popular stories only consist of 4 parts.
That's correct, yeah, because Kuronushi...
It appears that throughout all the stories, there is never a chapter dedicated to Kuronushi.
Yes,
Again.
I'm
True.
also curious about these stories myself. But who knows? They may merely be akin to the old saying in Mondstadt. Seeds of stories brought by the wind and cultivated by time. So for now, we need but just wait patiently.
Okay. So that's Suiko's Tipsy Tincture. That's the first one done. So what happens at the festival now? The Magnificent Irodori Festival has started. The moon and stars inscribed. You Nishiki. Okay, so it's gonna be there. And then we go from there. Okay. So what's this? The Mondstadt bard Lenne is discussing poetry quite passionately with the Inazuman poet Utomo. So let's go do that. Nope. I would like to do this quest, please. Man, an hour has already passed, which is kind of insane. Hello! Miss, I see that you've been walking back and forth in this area for some time now. I believe you must be someone who appreciates the elegance of the arts. There's a question of elegance that I might need your help with. Would you mind lending me your aid? Yes, what is it? Though I've only just met this man Lenne, a bard from Mondstadt over here, we have already become fast friends. Otome speaks the truth. We have only known each other for a few days, but I already have the greatest respect for his great learning. You're too kind, Lenne. In any case, we have made friends through poetry, and we're taking this opportunity to write a few collaborative works. And since Lenne has gone through all the effort to come to Inazuma, he really wants to add a bit of Inazuman flair to his work. Indeed, unfortunately my itinerary has been far too tight. I haven't had time to really go around and see the sights. So what can I do for you? Friend, the theme of the poem I wish to write is nostalgia. Upon seeing the sights in a distant land, a vagabond cannot help but remember their home. This is why I need to add some things to my poem that symbolize this distant place. Could you help me take a few pictures from which I could draw some inspiration? Inazuma should have a great number of unique sights to see, yes? For example, when you speak of Mondstadt, everyone's minds will turn to dandelions or windmill asters. Oh, Palma gets it now. Well, in that case, let's take a few pictures of some of Inazuma's regional specialties. That should do it. Indeed, I would be in your debt if you would. Allow me to also write a copy of my half-done poem manuscript, just for you to use as reference material. As for the number of pictures I will need, I think 4, each showcasing different contents, will do. I will also pay for any travel fees you may incur in the process. Well, Velica, since Lenne's request seems clear, let's head out right now. Upon seeing the sights in a distant land, a vagabond can... Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay. According to the poets Lenne and Otomo, you can take pictures in specific regions after receiving daily themes to obtain inspiration. The more material you obtain, the better you can help the poets Lenne and Otomo figure out more poetic stanzas, thus helping them to complete their poems faster. Well, that's not hard. Like, that's really not hard, because there's also some other stuff that I gotta do. So, where is... Yeah, because I know where some stuff is, right? Gonna switch to Yamiko, because I need to do that.
All right.
Yamiko. So it's gonna be this, and then Naku Weed is another one. I also need a lot of these blossoms. So interesting. Also, I need to do this because I forgot. Try my luck. Wait. In order to decipher the fortune slip. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Fortune slip. So we got good fortune. Wait, it's good to know. I forgot, like, that's something I need to start doing, is that daily, because there's some, we're missing some achievements, so I need to be aware of that sort of stuff. Okay, so next thing we need to do is lavender melon would be a good one. And...
What a dreadful ending.
Okay. I was not expecting her to hit that so hard, but I mean, it worked, so whatever. God dang it, you want me to actually take the picture. Fine, I see. So there's that. It's kind of funny to me every time like a character just hits the deck like with just a giant thud. And it's like, all right, well, I guess that just happened. Okay. So, lastly is we need to find some lavender melon. That'd be good. There's also the dendro blossoms, but I don't think that's gonna be too worth it. I think it would be better if I just find lavender melon, because with the lavender melon, I can actually do other stuff. And actually, speaking of, is there any commissions around here still? Because if there's commissions, I can actually just go find some of the other stuff that I need. Oh, because yeah, there's also the fruit that only got used once and then never again. Or the sea ganoderma. It's also another thing. Oh boy. Can we find the fruit?
Next on the agenda.
Yo, you guys also can't hear the dogs barking in the background, I think. I hope.
Hold the line. Come on, focus. For Rex Lapis.
Maybe you hear him if I talk, though. I don't know. Once again, a new audio setup means that there's a lot of stuff. No, I actually should check that right now. Let's see. Yo, you guys don't hear him at all. It's not, at least from what it sounds like. Oh, dude, this new setup is so good. I mean, there was the weird popping earlier. Don't know really what was causing that. I straight up have no idea. But
Next on the agenda.
like, you guys can't hear the dogs barking. You can't hear any yelling or anything like that. And the best news about that is that if I stream with Doge or somebody else on somebody else's stream, because there was the whole thing of, hey, you know, in Discord, it's not blocked or anything. Like, it's not dulled or muted or so on and so forth. Like, we can hear it on their streams. But technically now you don't, because I fixed it so where Discord, you don't hear anything. Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited. Y'all have no idea.
I can fix this. No touching.
Y'all have no idea how excited I am that, like, this new audio setup is working perfect. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I know if I drop down here, there's gonna be some of the fruits. Instead of the dendro blossoms, let's be one of the only people who decide to use the fruit as a picture. Boom. Go back and look for them. Sounds good. Ooh, we might actually cut this close today. Once again, I'm trying to keep Genshin Impact streams to only be about 2 hours long, just because I know how my community kind of feels about the Genshin streams, and I completely understand. So hopefully this actually works. Too, have you finished taking those pictures? I've taken them. Wonderful, you have my thanks. Let me look. Oh my, I've never seen any of these. And this picture is wonderful. This one also seems quite noteworthy. Friend, your photos are a true inspiration. Many thanks. Now I've attempted to write several different stanzas according to the pictures you provided me. I'm quite torn as which to use. I'm quite curious, actually. If I were you, which would you use? Okay. So, hold on. The day I took my leave of loving, I found I loved all things again. When tired at last of seeking and striving, I heard again freedom's refrain. The radiant flowers abroad do bloom, their scent a novel, lovely strain. In the words lies the armor of a violet hue. 'Tis the unspoken blessings from a foreign god. Of distant lands' joys my heart was dissuaded. Not but the slim grasses song remained. Again and remained. This one's gonna probably. Then suddenly I saw 'twas the unseen breeze. Those two matched preceding lines are closest, and they are vividly fitting when read. Miss, you truly have a good eye. Otomo, since both you and our new friend here are both very enamored of these two lines, then let's use them. For thank you once again for your aid. No problem. You have anything else? Leave the meta pictures to you, unfortunate. Yeah, my name is Volika. Most common name, but it is no crime to stand out from the crowd. I shall remember it. Volika, I remember it as well. No problem. Wait till the next morning and talk to Otomo. Well, here's the thing. If I do that, the next thing is by special invitation. Is this the first time you can get Zing Shot? Actually, was not aware. So complete the nostalgia theme poem. And then friendship themed, and we go. But there's another part of the thing. The Theater Mechanicus starts. So that's the next one. And then this is other stuff, which unlocks in 2 days. Oh, we got more things to do. The anecdotes we'll do later. But for now, let's do the next part of this quest. Once again, there's a lot to do for this event. I'm going to try to do Genshin Impact kind of daily so we can get caught up on it, but I'm going to try to do at least 2 like main story quests per day. So what it'll be, right?
The passenger ship from Liyue that we're supposed to meet should be arriving soon. Let's go to the docks.
Yeah.
You know that Shincho will be on board,
Shincho.
right? So we should be careful not to say anything about the stolen novels.
Yep, I understand. So the way it's basically going to work for these streams for Genshin is it's going to be these 2 first, then we do the Irodori Anecdotes, a story for you about that time we saved the Tanuki photo board. Then we do True Tales of the Violent Garden 3 and 4, and then we do Buyer's Guide to his Statue of Her Excellency, the Almighty Narukami Ogosho, God of Thunder, and Pen Pal's Book Reviews and the Super Lucky General will be the last one. So it'll be like kind of 4 Genshin streams in a row that kind of covers all of this, and then we'll see what else we can kind of get a hold of, I guess. Let's go talk to Shincho.
Hi there! You must be visiting from Liyue to participate in the Irodori Festival. We'll be your guides, and we'll take you onto the island. Huh? Is it Paimon, or have we met somewhere before?
Hello!
Yes, in fact we have. I'm Shu from Feiyun Commerce Guild. Aboard this ship we have calligraphers, painters, and even players of Theater Mechanicus.
Long time no see,
The
Shu.
inventor of Theater Mechanicus previously came to the Feiyun Commerce Guild seeking investment. Although the guild manager was not interested, Master still wanted to support them.
Also, Shu, you sound like Tartaglia.
We heard that they'd be demonstrating the game and letting people try Theater Mechanicus at the Irodori Festival. So the guild manager instructed Master and I to take the opportunity to come to Inazuma and investigate the product's potential.
Oh, speaking of which, where's the young master?
Master, he's,
Whoa! Singcho's just sitting there, sound asleep.
What? Oh. It's the Traveler in Paimon. I presume you are guests in Inazuma as well?
Nah,
it seems
well,
fate has destined our paths to cross once again.
Kind of.
Oh, we aren't actually guests. We're actually guides for the Irodori Festival.
How are you doing?
Oh, please, no need to worry. I was a little too caught up in a novel on the voyage here. When I finally realized what time it was, the first rays of dawn were already peeking over the horizon.
Makes sense. Absolutely makes sense.
Now that we've arrived, the Conjo Commission will likely wish to inspect our invitation letter. Let's keep it in hand, shall we?
Did you forget where to...
That's odd.
What's wrong?
There was a piece of paper underneath my bag. Strange. I don't recall seeing it there before.
Oh, it's a chapter.
Let Paimon have a look.
The 5 Cause in Splendor, Aoi no Akina. Glorious court life was my youth, and my old age a moonlit haze. I had not wished to behave so treacherously, but my life was threatened. So I sought out my old work and hid them in my clothes. I do not understand the reason behind all that has happened, only that the mysterious person's motives might be perverse. This poem was dedicated to Akihito, who, to my great sorrow, was banished.
There's no doubt about it. It's from the same series as the story we found before. Even the handwriting looks exactly the same.
The story you found before?
Oh yeah, in the warehouse down by the poem hunt competition.
Paimon, you are dumb as
That's
rocks.
it. A friend of ours is on Rito to paint portraits of the 5 Kasen. You know, as part of the Irodori Festival. Poetic stories about the 5 Kasen have been hidden in various places nearby. If you can find one of the stories and give it to this friend of ours, then there's a chance you'll become the model for the next portrait.
That's true.
Wait a moment. So you mean that...
Paimon, you're so terrible at making up stories.
Hey, it's hard coming up with stuff on the spot like that.
There's a chance of meeting Calx in person?
Huh? Oh, yeah. You could say that.
Oh yeah, you've never met
Really?
Albedo.
That's wonderful! I knew that Calx would attend the Irodori Festival, but convincing my father to let me come to Inazuma was proving to be quite the high hurdle. I had to really rack my mind to come up with the excuse of evaluating the investment value of Theater Mechanicus.
Well, you're also the writer of
Just
the
a few
Legend of the
days
Sword.
later, word then came that Calx would be busy painting portraits of the 5 Kasen during the festival. It is a most rare opportunity for both Calx and I to be in Inazuma together, but it seemed he would be too busy with the portraits to meet with me. So, I felt quite disappointed for some time now.
Nah, you'll get to meet him. Don't worry. You'll be able to meet him.
Even though Calx has work to do, he still has time to see friends. We can take you to see him right now. Also, we heard that Calx did illustrations for your A Legend of Sword novel.
Ah, so you've already heard. To be honest, my works have drawn little interest in Liyue. However, the novels are selling quite well in Inazuma with the help of Calx's beautiful illustrations.
That's right, because Albedo's a great artist.
Not only a skilled artist.
Great artist.
But he also carries out his craft with great alacrity. I heard that it took him merely a few hours to finish the illustrations for the latest chapter. But when I looked
That's
at the
Albedo
art,
for you.
the brushwork did not even look the slightest bit rushed. His work is truly exquisite. Oh my, I was beginning to get carried away there. Let us depart, quickly now.
Onwards.
Luckily, the idea of meeting Albedo managed to draw Xingqiu's attention and keep the situation under wraps. Let's just hope we don't let anything slip while meeting Albedo.
That's we, it's you. Not we, you. The blue flowers left behind. So if this is any indication, usually like the first part's pretty long, and then the second, third parts are short, and then the fourth part's pretty long too. So we'll see. Hopefully this gets like right below 2 hours, so that way I can finish up everything else I need to do. But if not, I mean, that is what it is. Here's the Albedo boy! What up, Albedo Alfredo?
Traveler, Paimon, how are you? And who is this accompanying you?
You must be Calx. It's a great pleasure to finally meet you. I am the author of A Legend of Sword, forgive me. It's rude of me to introduce myself by my pen name when meeting in person. Please, call me Xingqiu.
And you may call me Albedo, then.
No, that would be most improper.
Why not? Seeing as we're both friends of the Traveler, it'd be more convenient for us to use our real names.
Very true.
Besides, we've already corresponded with each other many times before. In fact, I feel a bit self-conscious seeing you act so politely.
Gosh, these two are like destined for each other. Like, they're the nicest of characters by all means.
It's not just you, Albedo. We haven't seen Shinjo act this awkward before either.
I've learned some new tips on manners today.
You guys, it's certainly not good taste for you two to be teasing me like that.
Listen, we're all friends here. It's
By the
fine.
way,
Friendship is
we
friendship.
happened to find a story from the poem hunt competition at the docks. I heard that you are collecting them.
Poem hunt?
You know, that thing where we have to find pieces of paper with stories of the 5 Kasen. Venti found
Paimon,
one,
good job.
and then he was allowed to be a model for one of your portraits.
Huh? Oh, yes, that's right.
Albedo's not the best liar, but he can do it. What up? Here's your piece of paper,
I
dude.
understand the story now. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Splendid. Though, I'm still piecing together the story myself. Would you kindly explain it to me in more detail?
If all of you are free, why don't we discuss this over a meal?
Hell yeah.
About that.
You have money.
Do you have other plans, Shinjo?
No, not at all. Speaking of dining, Shimura's unagi chasuke is quite delicious.
Unagi.
Would you like to go there?
Good, yes.
Unfortunately, today is a bit windy. How about Uyu Restaurant instead?
You guys are
That's
so picky.
Perfectly fine with me. But I must first unpack my luggage. Let's meet later at Uyu Restaurant.
We get to hang out with you too.
Something didn't quite add up just now.
Yeah.
No way! Paimon thinks we acted well together. Did we say something we weren't supposed to?
No, Paimon, I'm not referring to us. Traveler, what are your thoughts?
Why is our poet friend being suspicious?
Shinjo's suspicious? Hey, what are you two talking about?
Paimon, you read the poem, right? Although it may seem confusing to Shincho on its own, what if we read it together with a previous poem we found?
Read them together? Let's see. Suiko lost Aoi no Okina's poem in a drunken stupor. So, Aoi no Okina recovered the poem and gave it to some mysterious person. Huh? Wait a minute. Could today's story be hinting that the one who stole the latest copies of A Legend of Sword is Shincho himself? No way! That can't be right! Shincho only arrived in Inazuma this morning!
Interesting.
That is precisely the point of suspicion. If Shincho had only just arrived in Inazuma, how could he recommend Shimura's chasuke?
That's... Oh, shoot.
He didn't raise any questions when I suggested another place because of the windy weather. This means he knows that Shimura's is an open-air restaurant.
So he's been here. Oh my gosh.
Are you saying that Shincho has already been in Inazuma for some time? And that he's only pretending he just arrived?
Yes, that is indeed my conclusion.
But why? But why?
Shincho be the book thief? His mission is to fight for justice, isn't it? There's no way he'd do something against his own ideals.
Calm down, Paimon. Even though this is the first time I've met Shincho in person, we've communicated via letters for some time now. I do have some understanding of his character.
Okay, and what would that
I think
be?
there must be some deeper motive at play here. The story also tells us that Aoi no Okina flees with a poem because of a threat.
Oh? Could Shincho be in danger?
It's difficult to say at this point. But given that Uyu Restaurant is indoors, it'll be easy for us to detect anyone following or eavesdropping on us. I think it should be safe for us to talk there.
Good old Albedo. I love Albedo's events. I love any event that features Albedo. Like, he's such a good character.
To get to the bottom of this matter.
Then
let's head to Uyu Restaurant.
Let's do it. And oh, he's such a good character. Cause like he knows, right? He knows so much stuff. He's always like perceptive, and it's nice to have just a supremely logical character in this game. It's so nice to have just a character that's just exuding logic. Oh, I love it. Good. Food also sounds good, which is after this, we get food. Shincho.
I don't see anyone suspicious around. It seems clear for the moment. Let's go inside and wait for Shincho.
This whole thing's starting to make Paimon a little nervous. What do
First, we must ascertain whether Xingqiu was already in Inazuma or not. If we can find evidence of him deceiving us, then we can use it as leverage to persuade him to tell us the truth.
That's fair.
Since we're still waiting for him, why don't you go and chat with other guests in the restaurant and see if you can learn anything useful?
Hell yeah. I love being the detective. Let's go. I started climbing the door. Why is this person climbing the door? Oh God, why? Hey, what up? How's it going?
There, what can I get for you?
Please.
Hi, do you have any special recommendations today?
Oh my gosh, everyone just popped in.
Of course. I'd personally recommend our freshly caught seafood. It's been pouring these past few days, so the fishing boats haven't been able to sail at all. But the weather finally cleared up today, so we have some fresh catch.
Nice. Fresh seafood's good.
Been bad these past few days?
It sure has. A few guests from Liyue were just telling me that their boat was heaving and rolling all the way here. They couldn't do anything but sleep the entire trip.
Oh, this might be some useful information.
Yeah, because he slept right when he got here. I guess you're Akito? Is that who I'm talking to?
The Irodori Festival is when they release the all-new publications. The one I'm really looking forward to is A Legend of Sword.
That's right. A signed first edition is going to become quite the collectible. I've got to get my hands on a copy.
I've seen Genyu's signature before. His handwriting is super neat. He must be really diligent about his style.
He'll be there in person on the day of the release, so we'll get a good look at him then. I hear that he's actually pretty young.
Wait a minute. Did you just hear that? Not only will Xingqiu be signing novels at the release, but his handwriting is super neat?
Yeah, isn't there like a story quest where we make fun of his handwriting? What up, Albedo?
Albedo, what should we talk about when Xingqiu gets here? Any ideas?
I will try to break the ice by talking about our work on novels and illustrations. If he really is hiding something, then he might feel even more nervous than we do. If we start by talking about our work creating novels, perhaps he will lower his guard.
Fair.
Come to think of it, Xingqiu mentioned that he'd like to thank you for finishing the illustrations on time. He said they looked amazing despite the time you had.
Is that so? That is also a very valuable clue.
Is it? Okay, interesting. Things shall arrive shortly after and everyone enjoys a leisurely meal afterward.
Delicious. Inazuman cuisine largely consists of fresh seafood, which is certainly to my liking.
That's good. We were worried you might not have an appetite because you didn't sleep well. Now's our chance. Let's talk to Xingqiu and see if he says anything useful. Maybe we could start by asking him about the journey.
So, talk about his thoughts regarding the journey, talk about the book he was reading during the voyage, talk about the scenery of the journey. So how was the journey here?
I've never embarked on such a long journey before. Though I was quite excited when we set off, the long days at sea quickly became most monotonous.
I've been on a boat twice, like a long boat trip. Not fun, my opinion.
Journey, did anything noteworthy happen along the way?
Well, to be honest, I spent most of the trip with my nose in a novel.
Well, that didn't tell us much.
Talk about the book you read during the voyage.
By the way, Xingqiu, what book were you reading on the way here?
Oh, I was reading a novel called Pretty Please Kitsune.
Aww.
It was sent to me by my editor.
Of course, it's Yai Miko's book.
Didn't you feel dizzy while reading on the ship?
I would have. Seasickness?
It was nothing I couldn't handle. Don't forget, I'm proficient in the arts of the Guhua clan. That being said, there were quite a few people aboard who felt seasick.
That's fair.
Well, there doesn't seem to be anything suspicious about what he said so far.
Yeah, but how was the scenery?
To be honest, there wasn't much to see. Just water all around, morning to night. The sheer monotony of the trip caused everyone to grow a little impatient. So, when the peak of Mount Yogo finally appeared in the distance as we approached the islands of Inazuma, everyone crowded the deck to have a look. However, the ship sailed along at a crawling pace. It took a whole day from the time we saw the mountain peak to the time we docked.
Paimon didn't catch anything suspicious so far.
Nope, there was something really suspicious.
Right! If it took an entire day to reach the docks, then it would have been pouring rain at the time they saw the top of the mountain.
Oh gosh.
We learned a couple of things from his account, but we still require more evidence. Let's discuss creating novels with Xingqiu.
Let's talk about your novel.
Entertaining to read novels. Writing one is an endeavor of its own.
Is it? Oh god, I'm being called. Hold on. They really could just text me.
You must give great thought to every detail, from the layout of the plot to the rhythm of the lines. And even when you have come up with interesting content, there's still no guarantee that it will be to your liking.
I couldn't agree more. Whether it's writing a book, creating art, or studying alchemy, seldom can you really feel joy after seriously delving into the work.
Xingqiu and Albedo are getting into some deep topics now, but nothing suspicious has come up.
So what about Albedo's
Speaking of
illustrations?
Albedo, I've long wished to express my sincerest gratitude for providing the illustrations in my novel.
This is so weird. I don't want to distrust him, but I do.
Well in Liyue, so I must admit that I had some reservations regarding its potential. Yet you've consistently managed to select the most important scene of the chapter for your illustrations. This made me feel as though what I was trying to express could be understood after all.
Thank you. However, I took some risks in the illustrations, so I'm feeling slightly uneasy myself.
What do you mean risks?
Light-level illustrations are typically centered around the characters, but this time, I adopted a different approach in the illustration for the last chapter.
Well, that scene was intended to depict the change in the world, so I thought it very fitting to draw only scenery.
Doesn't sound like anything suspicious has come up so far.
No, there was a crack in his alibi. My illustrations were sent for printing the moment they arrived in Inazuma. So, logically speaking, there's no way he could possibly know what the illustrations look like. Xingqiu, we have something very important to ask you now.
Oh? Why the solemn looks all of a sudden?
What's with the facade?
Huh? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Mr. Okazaki told us earlier that actually the weather at sea was very bad these last few days. So when you said that everyone came running to the deck to see Mount Yogo, that couldn't have happened!
On top of that, the latest installment of A Legend of Sword will only be revealed at the Irodori Festival. Even we, the creators, haven't received a sample copy. And if that's the case, how could you know what my illustrations look like?
Damn, put him in his place.
Well...
The jig's up, Xingqiu. You were already in Inazuma before today, weren't you? Are you in some kind of danger but can't tell us the truth? Don't worry. The Traveler and Albedo are no pushovers. We can help you.
No, please. You misunderstand me. I suppose my lack of sleep is inevitably taking its toll on my mind.
Haha,
testing.
testing.
For a moment that you were testing me at all.
It's
I
good.
did in fact come to Inazuma early to handle some things. Let me consider how to explain this. Oh, this is most embarrassing.
You're fine.
Oh, well,
It's a venti.
This isn't a coincidence. I didn't expect to see everyone here.
What up?
Tone-deaf Bard, what are you doing here?
I heard that the owner of this establishment has some fine-aged wines. I didn't want to miss the opportunity to taste them.
I mean, okay.
Kinda knew you couldn't possibly be up to anything good.
Just always here when there's
Says
trouble.
who?
Always.
In fact, I come as the bearer of good tidings. I just bumped into Kujo Sara a moment ago. She said that the Tenryou Commission has apprehended the criminal who stole all those copies of A Legend of Sword. You needn't worry about it any longer.
Huh? The criminal who stole A Legend of Sword?
Did I say something I shouldn't have?
Yep.
Oh no. The person they apprehended. Was it by chance an editor named Onodera?
Apologies, Kujo Sara didn't mention a name. But I saw her taking someone toward Hanamizaka.
Everyone, it's too late to explain. We must make haste and rescue Onodera.
Oh, it's the dude. Oh gosh, like Onodera was like acting a little weird and sus and shiz, and yet now like.
Next on the agenda.
So what actually happened? That's the question. What actually happened? Jingsho, why are you being sus AF? Oh, hello. I was like, I need that! Onodera, what are you doing? There's Kujasara, there's Onodera. Oh god, what's happening?
Onodera is innocent. Oh, so you must be the author of A Legend of Sword. I didn't expect to see others tagging along with you.
Hi, we're here.
You mustn't take him away. I can explain everything.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I've just explained everything to Madame Kujou, and Kuroda has testified for me.
Yes. In fact, we were just getting ready to leave.
Oh, phew. What a relief. Wait a minute. Does everyone else here already know?
Well, to be precise, we had dispatched 2 additional squads here, in order to prevent the suspect from escaping.
Yeah, they're pretty good about...
Xingqiu looks pretty flustered. What exactly is going on here?
Something to do with the signature.
Though it's most embarrassing, it appears quite a few people are aware of the situation now. There's no use keeping it a secret.
Because his handwriting sucks.
In the end, I'm the one responsible for this whole predicament.
No, Zhenyu. It's only appropriate that I take responsibility for this. Everyone, please let me explain. For the Irodori Festival, I recommended the idea of selling newly released novels signed by the authors. Not only was this the first major project I was in charge of since joining the Yae publishing house, but Lady Yae also gave me a lot of support.
Which makes sense, yeah, completely.
However, I did not discuss our plans with the authors in advance. As a result, it caused a great deal of trouble for Zhenyu.
Yes, to be frank, calligraphy is not my strong point, so signing events are really not my forte.
I remember that Jingzhou has the worst handwriting of all time. Worse than doctors.
Even though such an event will be difficult for Zhenyu, after telling him how important the plans were to me, he immediately boarded a ship to Inazuma to come up with a solution. So these past few days, Zhenyu has been actively practicing his handwriting. However, it takes time to sign each book, and we realized the time we reserved for the signing was not nearly enough. So I came up with the idea of moving the new books from the warehouse to my place. That way, Zhenyu could use these few days to sign them all. I thought everything would work out without a hitch. I never expected that someone would immediately realize that the books were missing from the warehouse.
Well, it's a big seller. Of course they're going to be double checking.
I was on vacation and staying with Zhenyu in my house these past few days. I had no idea that the situation had turned into such a huge mess. All of this happened because I wanted to prove myself through this event.
Honestly, you didn't do anything wrong, Onodera. In fact, Jingzhou needs to be more honest.
I agreed to your proposal because I didn't want the readers to know of my unsightly handwriting. Also, I knew that Onodera had been misled by one of my prior signatures. At a previous event, the Yae publishing house had requested autographs of authors so that they could be put on display. I practiced tirelessly for an entire day to finally deliver a stylish and elegant signature for the event.
You don't need... That's the freaking most annoying thing. Sorry, I gotta have the rant for a little bit. Where's my note cards? So, I don't have... Do I have... I guess this marker might work. So, like, when you're doing a signature, okay? When you're doing a signature, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be legible really at all. Because the signature is just there to... In case anything happens, they can trace it back to the person who signed off on it and to make sure that their signature is the same. So you have to have a noticeable signature, which is why some doctors just kind of scribble because... Oops.
I had dug myself into a hole by delivering that nice signature for the sake of my pride.
But like, that's why you see like doctors kind of have some like, they just do some scribbles because those aren't like legitimate signatures, right? They don't need to have like specific specification. But when you're like saying like, oh, I need to sign off on a receipt. So like this is the kit signature. Like if I'm trying to sign it, it's just KT, which I know looks like an R, which that is a story for a different day. So don't worry about that. Either that or I just do this. So these are like the two signatures that I end up doing when I'm signing off as Kit. When I'm signing off as my actual name, it's completely different. but you don't have to have like a really. Let me get another note card. So like there's just like some scribbles which you don't need to worry about, but like if I were to write Katathi, right, like with that, like that looks messy, and I completely understand because cursive is honestly not my strong suit. I work very, very hard on like making sure that my straight hand is good. So like once again, I can write very neatly in plain script, but cursive is just not my strong suit. You don't have to have the most beautiful signature, as long as the typical rule of thumb is if you have at least 2 letters that signify whatever name you're writing, that should be enough, as well as whatever you want. So like with my initials, I just do the 2 initials and then like a little line over there, and there's sometimes I put a third so that way like it signifies at least what my first name is, and then just goes from there. You know, some doctors will just do squiggles, and that shouldn't work as long as they have like 1 letter. It has to be a noticeable letter. So I understand Xingqiu wants to make like a beautiful signature. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It literally could just be Zhenhu with like a big Z and then maybe like a Y just to signify that. And that's it. That's all it has to be. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't understand why people have to think that it's perfect. Like you really don't. Like some people I see, even when I used to work party hosting, right? I would see people like, you know, I would party host for an event when I was like 18, 19, 20 at the laser tag arena, and I'd give them the receipt and be like, okay, let me just, okay. All right. And then let's see. Okay. And like they'll like write out like some ridiculously long thing that they'll like put all of their effort to. And then there'll be some times where they're just like, okay, so here's your like $40 tip, and they do that. And this line at the top doesn't work. But then you'd have the people who like actually know what they're doing, and then it'd be like, who at the bottom, you know, very clearly can see an R, very clearly can see an L. I don't know anyone whose initials are RL, gonna be honest. Probably RL Stein is probably what I was thinking, gonna be honest. But like, as long as you have the first letter, your first name and last name, that's pretty easy to dictate, you're fine. That's all you need to worry about. Sorry, I have to rant about this because I took a freaking calligraphy class.
Come on, you two. Loosen up a little. The theft was nothing more than a simple misunderstanding. Besides, everyone has something they do not wish others to see.
Yeah, Mr. Animo Archon.
Yeah, that's right. All that matters is that Xingqiu and his books are okay.
Onodera, I think you should explain the truth regarding the stolen books to the rest of the people on Rito.
Yes, I understand. I'll apologize to everyone.
We should probably be heading back to Rito as well. Let's tag along.
Let's go, team of tag-along friends. Hey, look, it's Yaimiko. Hello, Yaimiko. Go to Outlander Fairs and talk to everybody. How is it, friends?
Onodera, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on leave these few days?
Onodera explains the situation. Makes sense.
I'm very sorry for all the trouble that I've caused.
Yes, Onodera, but why didn't you tell everyone earlier? If you had told us, we could have thought of some ways to help you.
That's right. We're a team, and we should be helping each other in tough situations like this.
I love this. If you're a team, you work together as a team.
Behind us now. Our first priority is to help Zhenyu with his signatures. How is your progress so far?
My progress is not what I had hoped for. Even after working through the night these past few days, I've only finished perhaps 1/10 of the signatures.
Oh, no wonder Xingqiu looked so sleepy today.
I understand. Murata, go back to the I Publishing House and get Aratani to book a room on the 2nd floor of the Uyu restaurant. We'll be using it for Zhenyu's emergency calligraphy lessons.
As somebody who took a calligraphy class in college, the minimal time I was there, this hurts. how bad is your signature where you have to have emergency calligraphy lessons? Like, it can't, I highly doubt Jingshou's signature is just this line, right? If anything, it's probably like he's trying to spell it out like letter by letter. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I'm thinking that it's just letter by letter. I don't know. It really should just be first name, last name. That's it.
Yes, Mr. Hirayama.
Like,
It
first letter.
just so happens that my brother is a calligrapher. Should I ask him to lend his assistance as well?
Yes, good idea. Ah, you've just reminded me. 2 calligraphers from Liyue arrived today. We've worked with them before, so I'll go and ask them to help out too.
It seems I'm really in for it now.
No need to worry, Zhenyu. I'm sure you can do it. Didn't you finish the last chapter of your novel in just 1 week's time?
Yes, but writing novels and learning calligraphy are 2 entirely different skills.
Very true. Very, very true. You'd be surprised how many people don't think that.
Even though Xingqiu still has to deal with his handwriting issue, Paimon somehow feels a little relieved now.
I always used to prefer working alone in my workshop, but I've come to realize that solving problems with others also has its merits.
We also owe a special ode of gratitude to the mysterious person who has been leaving important info for us along the way.
Huh? You mean whoever left behind those stories about the 5 Kasen?
Pardon me, but what are you talking about?
Oh, right. We haven't had a chance to explain things to Xingqiu yet.
Yeah, this is what's going on with the sheet of paper, actually.
I see. It appears that Onodera and I were spotted when we were moving the books. Albedo, may I ask you one thing? Are you able to include me in a portrait as well? Not only do I owe the successful resolution of today's incident to that story, but I also hope that I'll remember this lesson.
No problem. Considering the similarities between the portrait and the events that have taken place, your proposal is very reasonable.
That figure was none other than Aoi no Okina himself. This turn of events had begun with an unnamed individual, under whose coercion, Aoi no Okina was forced to take drastic measures to retrieve a page of poetry. He knew nothing of this individual's true intentions. All he knew was that the poem had to do with an old acquaintance, Akahito.
Nice.
Albedo really is something. He finished the portrait of Aoi no Okina in no time at all. Wonder how Xingqiu's calligraphy training is going at Uyu Restaurant. Hey, do you think whoever left those stories for us could be hiding somewhere nearby?
Possibility.
Oh, hello? Mr. Storywriter? Are you here? Could you please help Xingqiu with something? He's a friend of ours, and the release of his new book is super important to him.
As a kitty cat.
What's that sound?
He's a kitty cat.
It was just a cat. Looks like we can't make them reveal themselves that easily.
Wonder who it is.
It's getting late now. Well, let's go back and get some rest. We still have to go to the docks and wait for another ship tomorrow morning.
Is that who I think it is? First off, I want to confirm that that is actually not anybody. Yeah, Athena Mechanicus is here, which we won't be doing today, but we'll do later. I just want to confirm we need to look at all of our characters' legs real fast. But I'm pretty sure I know who that is. I don't know their name, but I do believe I know who that is. I'm literally looking at, like, because of course Yes. Okay. I know exactly who it is then. So I believe that our person, our mysterious little figure, they're so Genshin Impact, for those who don't follow it on Twitter, they release every few days before a big expansion or big like update drops, like 2.6, 2.5, they will release the next the characters of the next update. And so yeah, they released like the pictures of the next characters. There is I believe a Hydro girl. I think her name is Yellen. Who, that's not who this is. But they also released, there was a green-haired Electro Ninja girl who I believe is probably who this is. I think it's the green-haired ninja girl that we're going to be essentially meeting and then getting to meet further in 2.7. Based on everything, by the way, it does seem that 2.7 and there's going to be a 2.8 and a 2.9. So we have at least a way to go before Sumeru of 3.0, it seems like. Compared to Genshin Impact's like 1.0 releases, 1.0 to 1.6, because then it went to 2.0, I believe after 1.6, if I recall correctly. Which here might be like, wait, but why would that be the case? And the big reason for it is because there is a lot of characters that are taking place with Inazuma right now, and we still have a few more Liwa characters to meet that they've actually already teased for right now. There's Yellen, I hope I'm saying their name right. And there's also the ninja girl. But there's also, and I've shown this in voice lines before, there is Kunika's no, this is, I think Kuni Kazushi is the oh, it might be Cookie Shinobu. Where is the person? There is a person that I've seen the name a lot of times, and yeah, so yeah, Cookie Shinobu is, I think, the green-haired person's name. Where is you? Kokomi, you talk about it. You talk about the Shikanoin. Shikanoin is a character that gets mentioned quite a lot. Somebody from, I believe, the Tenryou Commission in this game. And he's supposed to be released, from what is being mentioned, relatively soon. And then there's also the fact that there's Yao Yao, who has been teased since like 1.2, 1.1, 1.2. Yao Yao being the first Dendro character who has Ganyu's helper. So I believe that's where we're going. I feel pretty confident is that's where. Anyway, we're about to hit the 2-hour mark for Genshin, which means that we're going to end off the Genshin Impact stream here in a few moments. But I want to talk about what's going to be going on for the rest of today, as well as just more Genshin stuff in general. When it comes to Genshin Impact, for the next few days, we are going to be focusing pretty heavily on Genshin Impact, mainly because there's the event that's going on right now, which I will, like, I personally will just be like going through. But there's just a lot of stuff in Genshin that I am very behind on, that I just need to admit that I'm behind, and I should have hopefully caught up, and I haven't. So let's talk about that. So obviously there's the new event going on right now, and the new event is going to take 3 more days to do at least the main story. The reason why 3 more days minimum is because tomorrow is when part 3 of both will be released, and then 2 days after that, or the next day after that, would be where part 4 it sounds like is going to be released. Maybe longer, we'll see. That being said, next stream that we do of this game is going to be, specifically speaking, going to be the side stories, the anecdotes for the Irodori Festival. Those should be pretty, like, those should be pretty fast to go through, so we might be able to do some side story stuff, but I want to make it clear that, like, that is kind of the the big thing that we're going to be focusing on is doing the event. Now that being said, there's a few other things that I'm actually behind on in this game. Big things of note is achievements. For those who know, I've been behind on achievements and hangout events for quite some time in this game. I've actually just kind of up and forgot about a lot of them. And that's not really a good thing, just gonna be honest. I should actually be focusing on the hangout events and on some of the achievements, but I've kind of just like forgot about them. Luckily with 2.5 there wasn't any like too many new achievements added, but 2.6 I believe they added quite a few achievements that I need to get taken care of, because there's also now the Chasm and a few probably hidden achievements with the Chasm. So what are we going to be doing there? Regarding the hangout events, there are, I believe, 5 more that we're missing. 6. Shit. Toma, Sayu, Beto, Goro, Yunjin, and Ning. I believe Sayu and Toma are the next 2. So we'll focus on Toma's next, and I believe Toma's just gonna have, after we do this event, like everything in this event, we'll start doing streams that are strictly the hangout event followed by side stuff. So we'll jump right into doing whatever it is for the hangout event, however long it is. Most hangout events I've learned are at least less than 2 hours, so it shouldn't be that crazy. But I mean, it is possible that it could last longer. So we'll play it by ear, right? But I do want to do everyone's hangout events. I'm super behind on them. I'm also super behind on voice lines, but that one's we're kind of playing it by ear, as that were. I'm hoping to release a voice line thing for Ito, hopefully tomorrow. That would be the play, but I might be wrong. It might not go too well. We'll see. I'm trying my best here. I'm trying my best. Also, speaking of which, I need to press this button. I need to go down here. I need to press this. And then I need to turn this public and hit publish. Because, of course, I forgot to do that. Hooray! I'm forgetting everything. Weird. Sorry. Something like caught my eye. Like, what? But yeah, Genshin Impact wise, like the big focus lately for Genshin Impact is going to be taking care of just everything that I'm behind. That's the key. And I know that, like, according to the survey and everything, which is still going on at the time of this stream,
Focus. Access denied.
Not a lot of people in my community do like watching Genshin. I completely understand, because I think it's just because I stream Genshin just a ton, and, you know, Gacha, all that sort of stuff. You know, there's some people who are like, not really the greatest thing, but I get that. But I'm still just gonna be, my goal right now is just trying to get everything caught up in this game, so that way I don't have to play it that much. Once again, there is no end game in this game. There is legitimately no end game, which means that me trying to, oh my gosh, I haven't, what? Missing a commission? Where am I missing a commission? Oh, okay. I was like, where am I missing a commission? There's no end game in this game, except for trying to like level up all your characters and doing the dungeon. So that's something else I should talk about. I really just don't care much for the Spiral Abyss dungeon. I understand that is what the end game is. I've poked fun at the fact that there's no end game in Genshin Impact, and then I've been told it's like, but there's the Spiral Abyss. I don't. My thoughts on the Spiral Abyss is that I don't think the Spiral Abyss is a good classification of endgame. To me means being able to get, so I come from MMO era, you gotta remember this. I come from playing a lot of MMOs. Endgame means getting the best gear possible for your people to make them stronger and stronger. Okay? That to me is what endgame means in a game. Is that you're just doing everything to gear up your people as much as possible. So technically, in a broad sense, there is an endgame, right? Because there's like doing the domains and everything. Which, in fairness, can be true. But that's not it. That's not really it. Because when you're getting new gear, you want to make sure you're doing things that test the new gear. And when you're testing new gear, that way you can get better gear while testing out the new gear. Okay? So that's why there's people who are like, well, that makes sense that the Spiral Abyss is your endgame. Because that's where you test out your gear. And then you can get better gear from this. But that's a lie. It tests out the gear. I'll give you that. We haven't done this since 2021, by the way. Let me show y'all what I mean. Check rewards. Floor number 9 gives you Primo Gems and money. Okay. So, when you complete the room, you get Mystic Enhancement Ore, which I'd probably prefer because that means I can level up weapons. And I probably should do it just for that alone. These are super easy to come by. These are hard to come by. These are a random 4-star relic, and this is a random 5 relic from Vermilion, Hereafter, and Echoes of an Offer. Which I believe, let me check this real fast. I haven't seen those before, but I would wager a guess, right? These are the new artifacts. Fun fact, those artifacts can be gotten right here. There's no reason to do them from that. So in other words, essentially doing the Spiral Abyss only gets you things, in my opinion, that are useful for leveling up your weapons. And even then, I still don't even think it's so, I mean, altogether it's like 15, I think there was 2 sets of 6s, so that would be 1836 plus 15 is 51 plus 21, which is 72. So 72 of the which I can find actually right here. So 71. 710,000 spirits. Not bad. Would honestly is probably worth it for that alone, like I said. But other than that, none of the other boards are worth it. So unless you're just constantly leveling up weapons, I don't think it's worth it. So I'm waiting for something where it's like you actually are teaming up with other players, or you're just going by yourself, and it's giving you like stuff you can only get. That's the key word. You can only get from I'm doing that, by the way, just because like I just don't have anything else from resin. And I need more Mystic Enhancement Ore, honestly. I want to do some sort of domain in this game that only, and there's the keyword there, is only, you can get from that specific place. So like these domains, I guess you can call endgame because it's for talents and all that sort of stuff. But once again, since I'm AR60, I have no reason to spend any Primo Gems anymore for resin. I can spend all of this stuff to get better things. But I'm kind of just dialing it back because I don't need to right now. I'm not really focusing on leveling up anybody. I'm just sticking with my team and rolling with it for right now. Unless they raise the AR, then I'll use Primo Gems again. But the other thing I would like to say though is, yeah, there's just no endgame. I'm gonna keep repeating that. I apologize. But since there is just no endgame for me to worry about, I don't feel the need to play this game too often. Hopefully one day they will. and they'll add like actual stuff that it's a very difficult dungeon. You need to be properly geared for it, and you know, you can either do it with other people or yourself. And that would be really cool. And it gets you actual like unique stuff that you can only get once a week. That's super hard. Because if you're about to tell me that fighting the Raiden Shogun here is endgame, you're crazy. Because this fight's not hard. At all. But who knows? I'm just... Anyway, that being said, we're gonna end off the stream right here for right now because I need to get some food. It's been kind of a long day. So I'm gonna go get some food, gonna relax for a little bit. We're gonna be coming back here later tonight. We're gonna be playing some Pokemon Legends Arceus. Doing some tasks, probably not some story stuff. But we're gonna be doing some tasks, chilling, and having a good time. So it should be good. With that being said, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed Genshin Impact. Of course, if you're new here, feel free to follow. We do try to stream every single day. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, night, or evening. Of course, my name's Kentathi. I'll see you guys next time for some more Reddit gaming. See you guys later. Peace. Bye, everybody.